What's going on, people? Back again because there is some really relevant DC Comics news that needs to be addressed. It's probably, you know, sailing under the radar of most people, but it is important because it has been in the rumor mill for quite some time now that DC is going to take a page from Marvel's playbook and do a ultimate style line of comics. And it just so happens that very recently, a couple days ago, a week ago max, Bleeding Cool News reported that there is officially a title for it. This is DC's new line of comics that is going to be headed up by Scott Snyder. He is the writer that gave us the New 52 run of Batman, which was phenomenal. He's also the guy that gave us Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal, which were terrible. And also his run on Justice League was just absolutely ridiculous. This is the guy who had Batman traveling to a dimension outside of all dimensions and being told by this ancient cosmic being that he alone possessed the knowledge to repair and pilot and use this interdimensional multiversal bat suit called the final bat suit, which was to be used to defeat Superman and save all of the multi. This is a guy who just wanted to rid his city of crime because he saw his parents get shot, and now he's doing all this multiversal, interdimensional, alien, galactic shit. Like, bro, it's crazy how he did such a great run on New 52 Batman, and then like literally everything else he did is just wacky and weird and just no, fuck off. But anyway, the guy can write. He proved that with his New 52 run of Batman. So he does have good ideas, and he's the guy that's going to be heading this thing up. And it is officially going to be called Absolute DC or DC Absolute. I think Absolute DC sounds better. And I mean, Ultimate Marvel, Absolute DC. They ultimate means final and definitive, and absolute just means kind of like definitive, complete, whole. Uh, so yeah, good name choice. Let's look at the article here real quick. I have it pulled up. So Scott Snyder, Absolute Comics, and DC All In the morning after. So it says that he announced it, and where is blah blah blah, basically the gist of what it's going to be. Okay, so this is all part of DC's next big initiative called DC All In, uh, which is the, DC is just trying initiative after initiative after initiative because they cannot figure the fuck out what it is that will sell their comics when everyone in the world knows what it is that will sell their comics. Give the characters modern costume updates, create a well-established, cohesive continuity. Don't break from that continuity, and keep the characters, traditional. Don't fuck with them. It's pretty simple, really. But DC All In is the name for their publishing initiative imperative that's going to launch in October, November this coming fall, and it's going to follow the Dawn of DC shit. And as part of that, we're getting Absolute DC. This is not the official logo. This is just something Bleeding Cool mocked up to just kind of give you an idea. But it is going to be called Absolute DC. And it's basically going to be DC's version of Ultimate Comics. And there was something else in here where they talked about, like, let's see. They say it's not a relaunch or a reboot. All In is not a relaunch or a reboot. It will continue the continuity that Rebirth from the New 52 to Rebirth and whatever. There was something in here where I remember reading it. It said it's going to be like the New 52 done right. But I can't, for the life of me, see where that was. There's a lot. New 52 is mentioned in here a lot. but it's not a relaunch or a reboot. Scott Snyder, blah blah blah. Donnie Cates is also attached apparently. These are some writers. It's been strong. There's a lot of reaction. Blah blah blah. DC started a Snyderverse. I'd have two nickel, but it's weird that it happened twice. These are just quotes. I remember reading something where it was like, it sounds like it's going to be the New 52 done right. Uh, that sounds like a good idea to me. The New 52 was the right move for DC at the time. It was just executed poorly. They tried to launch 52 individual comic book series, monthly comic book series, all in a very short amount of time, in an era where comics were no longer the thing amongst your target audience. You're trying to target new readers. You're trying to take young people and turn them into lifelong comic book readers. But at the time that the New 52 launched, young people weren't interested in dropping, a fuck ton of money on comics. They were interested in video games and Netflix streaming and that kind of shit. So to me, what the New 52 done right would be is basically, it's like if you did the New 52, but you basically did A-list characters get the A-list characters get their own monthly series, and then your big teams. So like your A-list characters, and then you do a Justice League book, a Titans book, a Suicide Squad book, a Justice League Dark book, Legion of Superheroes book. What am I missing? Anything? Justice Society, JSA maybe. Do your A-list characters and your big teams, and that's it. Don't try to give every fucking character their own series, because no one's gonna read Hawkman. No one's gonna read Ted Cord Blue Beetle in his lame ass outfit. No one's gonna read Madame Voodoo, whatever the fuck her name is. Like, no one's gonna read those. They're not gonna sell because no one knows those characters. They're very obscure, wacky characters that no one knows. So don't go giving them their own monthly series. It's a waste of time. Now, other concern I have is when they say that, like, obviously the what keeps being said is, it's like in line with, it's in the same vein, same lane as Marvel's Ultimate Universe. Well, to that I say, which one? Because Marvel has two now. They had Earth 1610, which is their original Marvel Ultimate Universe, which I have several of here on the shelf. I'm a pretty big fan of the original Ultimate Marvel Universe, at least up until right before Ultimates 3. I thought it was really good. But the new Ultimate Universe that just started, like this year, or late last year, in 2023, I'm not really into. I know it's doing pretty well. Particularly, people are liking Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm not a fan, because what I wanted out of an Ultimate Universe, an Ultimate line of comics, is I just want a complete redo, restart from square one of the story of the whole entire universe, whether it be Marvel or DC. But I don't want it to be drastically different from the version that we know and love. I just want a modern retelling, a modern present day retelling that provides a fresh jumping on point for new readers. That's it. Like, I don't have a huge problem going back and reading really old Spider-Man comics from like the 60s, but at the same time, I think you want to cultivate a new generation of lifelong comic book fans. Maybe don't require them to go read a bunch of old-timey shit. Give them a fresh jumping on point. Here's Spider-Man, issue number 1, and it's Peter getting bit by the spider at age 15, but it takes place in the year 2024 instead of 1962, so it's got that going on. It's the same as before, just in the modern day. And whatever changes would be justified to the story because of that difference in time period that the story takes place in, fine. But there's no reason to do what Marvel recently did with their new Ultimate line, which was they basically the new line of Marvel Ultimate Comics is basically, what if all of the heroes got a late start being heroes? It's like, what if Peter Parker didn't become Spider-Man at age 15? What if, because of some fiddly fuck shit, he did not become Spider-Man until he was like 33 years old? What if Thor was late starting to be Thor because of some fiddly fuck shit. He was locked up in Asgard for an extra 15, 20 years longer. And so he's getting a late start. What if Captain America was not found in the ice when he originally was? What if he was thawed out and started being active as Captain America again 20 years later? It's basically like, what if all the Marvel characters got like a 20-year late start being Marvel characters? That's a drastically different Marvel universe, and that's not what I want from an Ultimate line. I just want a modern retelling. That's it. Like some characters, if you think that they need a modern update on their costume, great, but don't go drastically different with that either. If you look at the original Marvel Ultimate Marvel Universe 1610, like Captain America, was his costume updated? Yes. Did it still look like Captain America? 100%. Spider-Man and Daredevil in the Ultimate Universe, the original Ultimate Universe 1610, they looked like normal Spider-Man and Daredevil. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So with this absolute DC, I don't want to see them do anything drastic. I don't want to see them do anything crazy, some crazy changes. I still want Bruce Wayne. He's Batman, and he's Batman because his parents got shot in an alley, and he has the Batcave beneath Wayne Manor, and he drives the Batmobile and jumps across rooftops, and he wears the Batman suit. If you want to ditch the black trunks, that's fine. They're lame anyway. But other than that, he wears the normal bat suit, and it's just a modern retelling. That's it. That's all it needs to be. Superman, same thing. Wonder Woman, same thing across the board. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Don't do any race swapping. Don't do any gender swapping. And don't do any sexual orientation swapping. Just don't do it. Leave the characters alone. They have endured as long as they have because they are fine the way they are and they are beloved the way they are. Leave them alone. Don't do any of that dumb shit. So, yeah, I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I've seen how these kinds of initiatives and these kinds of things overall just get warped, and creators and writers, they they use this as an opportunity to be like, oh, this is my chance to put my own personal spin on DC. Yeah, no one's interested in your own personal spin. We want what we want. All right? The mass public wants what the mass public wants, not what you want. So don't do that. Figure out what people want. And I think people would be happy with just a modern retelling. I think people would be happy with the New 52 done right. So once again, what does that look like? Uh, just stick to your A-list characters and your big teams. Completely fresh jumping on point. Modern present day setting. Update the costumes if they need to be updated. Ditch the trunks. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, that's and restart everything. Don't do this bullshit where it's like we're gonna restart everything except Green Lantern and Batman. Those guys' continuity is gonna stay the same. That doesn't work because all the characters interact with each other. So if one of them stayed the same but the other one changed, wouldn't that mean that they'd have like Batman would have memories of doing shit with Superman that Superman no longer remembers, and then wouldn't that come up eventually? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna restart, you got to restart. If you're gonna do a fresh, brand new telling, you got to start at square one for everyone across the board. So yeah, I couldn't find it in that article I just pulled up, but I know for a fact I read one the other day where it said that like the inside scoop was this is going to be like the New 52 done right, which sounds awesome as long as they know what the New 52 done right actually means. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I'm going to remain optimistic. I'm going to have my eye on the lookout for more information about this pretty regularly. I was searching it like at least once a week. I was searching it on Google, Ultimate DC, because I knew that it was in the works, like with Scott Snyder running it, being like the head guy for it. But this is just the first piece of news since I learned about it, learned that it was actually going to be a thing. And yeah, all it really is that we have a title for it. As for the greater DC All In initiative, it's probably going to be another one of DC's failed initiatives. Uh, Aside from this absolute DC potentially working out, because their mainstream line is just so unbelievably fucked that there's just like no point. Like they honestly should just burn it all down and start over. And it seems like they're not going to burn down the old shit and start over. They're just going to keep the old shit standing and then just build some new shit, which is fine. Which is it's fine as long as the new shit as long as the new shit works. But like I said, I'm gonna be a broken record here. A-list characters, big teams, don't race swap, don't gender swap, don't sexual orientation swap, don't sexuality swap, don't do that. Modern day setting, start everything from square one, keep it relatively traditional, just retell the same shit from before with a modern day spin on it. Like just think like what if the Superman Doomsday arc had happened in 2024 instead of 1990 whatever. Think about it like that. What differences would there be between like Superman goes up against Doomsday in 1990 whatever. We have that story, Death of Superman. Okay, if that story happened in 2024, how would it be different? Think about it from in that perspective, and it'll be fine. But yeah, that's the word on it right now. There's not a whole lot of word out on it other than they have a title for it, Absolute DC. And I swear I saw somewhere where it said like it seems like it's going to be the new 52 done right. So that's fucking metal, but not Dark Knight's metal. Anyway, so yeah, that's my take on that. Let me know what you guys think. Anybody else who knows any more or has any other information, please leave some comments down below. Let me know. Get a discussion started. Are you guys optimistic for this? Are you looking forward to it? Do you think it's just going to be another failure? You know, whatever the case may be, leave some comments down below. I'd be interested to hear. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to help out the channel even further, check out some of my other videos and subscribe. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.